Okay, getting right into it. Trip Digital Sound Art Expression. Yo, who we got in the building, man?
Musiic
Galloway.
Me.
Wow. We go back a little bit, but we're going to get right into it. And let's give your story on how you got started in the music business. And we'll talk about the name next because I want to see your ID.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah, it's real.
It's real.
I would never do that to myself. My mom did that.
Wow.
But
how's it spelled? How's music
two
spelled?
I's to make it special.
Okay, spell it for the audience.
Musiic.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
So it could be special.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
Heavy.
Man, big up
Some
to
heavy
moms.
shit.
Man,
Yeah.
Yes.
Made it easy for you to make good music. I see.
Right.
So how did it get started? Was your mom into music? Was your dad into music?
My dad is a musician.
Okay.
He's a singer and a writer, and he sang with everybody. Everybody you can think. Everybody you hear on the radio from, Marvin Gaye, Jackson's.
Yeah,
wow.
So that was like my beginning. Now in studios and on tour buses and, just lay there while we mix or lay there while I record,
Wow.
Stevie Wonder studio. I mean,
wow.
So it was a lot of, that's it.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Wow.
Some good stuff.
Okay. What's your dad's name?
Roy Galloway.
Roy Galloway.
He passed away
Okay.
a few years, about 10 years ago, but he's always around,
Yes.
floating, telling me he's here because he's on so many songs. And I didn't even realize, till after he passed, I didn't even know, the royalty checks come in. You're like, I didn't know you did that song.
Discography is deep.
Crazy.
And he was a songwriter or a
Both.
Voice artist.
Yes, a voice artist, songwriter, everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's that. It had to start somewhere. It's all in me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when did your career start as a musician? Or
it started
music
kind of
songwriter?
early. I think I got in the union when I was about 16. I started doing background work.
Okay. Was it with your dad?
It was not with my dad.
Okay.
It was with some rappers.
Okay. Hey.
I'm gonna say some
Started
rappers.
from the bottom, now we're here.
Yeah.
But I got, it was like some scaled union shit because I remember I had to get my card and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like,
Wait, it was union for some rappers.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Wow.
All right.
Was this like some very, very known like rappers or?
no,
was
there's
this
someone
like,
that was trying to be very known, that
Okay,
was down with
okay.
some very known people.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're not gonna really go there.
That's
on
all right.
all
All right,
of them,
that was
but
my next question. I was gonna ask like, so who?
Let's say it was in the Far Side camp.
Oh,
cool.
It was in the Far Side camp.
Shit, that's
Yeah.
legendary.
So it's pretty good.
That's legendary.
yeah.
Yeah, they were down. They produced it,
Damn.
and I sang on one of the songs. The artist was on the same label as an ex-boyfriend of mine.
Oh.
So
Bless you.
I sang on that song. So it started pretty early.
That part.
That part.
Yes. So how old were you?
I was about
then?
16.
16? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So then from there, I doing a little background. I always sang. I studied jazz. I went to high school for the arts. I'm an LA kid.
Okay.
Grew up in the studio.
What part of LA?
Everywhere. I was telling him I'm a West Side born, but I went to high school in East LA. My grandparents
She's
are
LA,
South.
like
Yeah.
Los Angeles
Yeah.
from the east
My
side to the
grandparents
west
are South
side.
LA. My aunt's in Compton. So I'm LA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hollywood.
Born and bred. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So did you go off into your own thing, or were you in the in the background for a little bit?
dabbling
Yeah.
in my own thing.
Yeah.
Sort of rebellious, like anything everybody want me to do, I just do the opposite.
Okay.
I'm like, I'm not gonna do that neo soul shit. I'm about to
Yeah.
write some rock shit.
Word.
Play
Yeah.
guitar and and but background for a while. So I did Macy Gray's first record. I did all the backgrounds on that first
Wow.
record and toured with her
Yeah.
for years.
Big record.
That was pretty
Right.
cool.
Yeah.
Right.
That was a big record. She had a
That
lot of
was
support.
huge.
She had a lot of support. Like the support that does not exist anymore. Support.
Yeah.
Big tour,
Yeah.
big buses, nice hotels. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the shit.
That first signing budget.
That
Okay.
Sony shit. That Sony. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So that was dope. And then I took a small couple months off, and I started touring with a girl named Nika Costa.
Okay.
You know that girl?
Yes,
Nika
yes,
Costa.
yes.
She's really dope. dope artist. Another,
I know her husband.
Justin.
Justin
Stanley. Yes, he's an engineer. He just got
yeah.
nominated for a Grammy for the Prince record.
I've worked with Justin.
I love
Shout out
Justin.
to Justin.
Yes.
Justin, yes.
Yeah.
He actually produced my first project I had on Universal.
Okay.
That didn't end up going anywhere, but he produced it. So that was, I love Justin. That was probably the only singer that I sang background with, Nika, that I stayed friends with. So she's still my.
So y'all still cool today?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's dope. Her new record just came out. Dropped
Yeah.
that. Amazing.
Yes.
Nika with strings.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So into this music thing, being a child of a musician, was that hard for you? Because I know some like kids that dads and moms are like dope out there and they did work and the kids like, I don't want to have anything to do with music. Did you ever have that moment where
I didn't have that moment, but I definitely didn't get, maybe the validation I was looking for from my dad right away. You know what I mean? And I got it right before he passed away. I'd written something that, like, one of his last words were like, "Did you mix Hail Mary?" And I'm like, "What? No, but I'm going to. Like, we're going." But yes, at the end, at least I got a little bit.
Right.
But he's like, this is not an industry for the weak or playing around, and so.
Yeah. And your dad probably knew the insides of like the industry and didn't want you to go through it, huh?
Maybe. He just wanted it to be not suck, I think. He just wanted it to not
right.
suck.
Yeah. It's tough to suck out there.
It's tough to suck.
He wanted you to know what not to do.
Yeah. So, but he was supportive. He was there, but I definitely finally got some validation. But it didn't scare me. I don't think you can really be. I think you got to do what you got to do, what you feel.
Yeah.
And I couldn't help it. It was in my, in my blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you do it well. I've heard some joints and yeah.
Well, thank you.
And going back to, it's kind of fast forwarding and stuff like that.
Forward.
How we met.
We met in New York at the Dream Hotel when you were spinning by the pool.
Yeah.
With Desire.
Yes, it was so random, but at the time I was actually looking for a female artist, and I think the way that it came down, it's like the universe works in mysterious ways.
I made you come to the room and I played you music right away.
Yes.
I was like, right away, I was like, can you come up here and listen to my music? And you were really quiet, but you listened.
Yes. And I heard a lot. I heard soul. I heard, conviction. I heard truth. I heard pain. I heard pleasure. I heard passion. I heard it all. And I was curious. I was very, very curious about like how and what this was for you.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people do it.
Right.
And some people are in it. You can't make a great singer.
Right.
So
I've never done anything else other than music. So I think the last few years have just been sort of like a gumbo pot. Like I had this, I was doing like a Black Keys sort of project with Universal, and they were like, they didn't know what to do with that. And that was that was a pre-Black
blues,
Keys.
like
bluesy
blues.
rock,
Yeah.
but very rock. You know what I mean? Like unapologetically some blues rock, And they were like, they gave me, they're like, go for it, do whatever you want. And then at the end, they're like, we don't know what to do with this. You know what I mean? So
you were ahead of your time. Maybe.
I was very, because I was.
So the deals that you had with, I heard you brought up a lot of record labels. Like, who were you signed to as an artist?
I wasn't signed. Universal gave me a chunk of money.
Okay.
So they gave me, when there was like demo deals, they gave me a big chunk of money to go record with Justin. Okay. And at the end, they'd shelf the record. So, that's what happens.
Okay.
Which is fine,
Now you had your own musicians in the studio and
I have the best musicians. Growing up
what was that
here,
like? What was that? What was working like?
Nice. We recorded at Mad Dog. Mad Dog Studios in Burbank.
In Burbank. I have not been there.
But it's a good studio.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Who's recorded there? Famous?
Don't know. I don't know. What would you think? I don't know. Let me look it up.
But I've heard of Mad Dog Studios. I've never been there, but I've heard of it.
It was Justin's suggestion. It was a nice big room. It was a great room. Josh Lopez played on it. Justin played on it. There's some good musicians.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I'm wondering, like, as young artist, you're like directing these musicians, or was there like music already written that they're playing to, or were you like, hey drummer, play like
right? No,
like
I
MJ?
mean, I'd already written the songs,
Right.
So it was just go in there and get some really good live takes.
That's awesome.
And like play them over and over. It's kind of like the Nashville style,
Right,
like country
right.
style. Like let's get it right. Let's not like piece
Raw.
it together. Let's
Raw.
get it
Organic.
Let's get a take.
Yeah.
Like let's get a whole take and not piece it together like a puzzle. That was nice. And that was that. That was the feel of that vibe. That was
And you were writing all your own
everything.
stuff.
Yeah, I wrote everything.
That's what's missing. That's what's missing in music nowadays.
Singers, songwriters, where are you?
Start with the guitar
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
And just build from that.
Joni Mitchell style.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
I'm a hippie baby. I'm definitely a hippie baby. I'm definitely some, yes.
So you got any records that you wrote that people should know about, or that became
They should know
hits,
about.
or
No,
any
nothing that
Grammy
really-
nominated stuff?
I mean, I'm all over that Macy stuff, and that,
Okay. That was a
that's
dope project.
that got some recognition. But anything that I wrote nope, not really. I've got a lot of songs that play on random TV shows and
Yeah.
a lot of placements and that kind of thing. I
Okay.
mean, random, like wrestling shows. I'll get a check from like, oh, all right, Spike
Right.
TV. That's awesome,
Yeah.
or something.
Well, it's time to revive that,
time to
that
revive it.
sound.
Word up. Yeah.
But now it's evolving. I mean, I met you. I've been writing to beats and working with different people, stirring
Yes.
stirring the gumbo pot and seeing what's up. I mean, I used to be so guitar driven, and now I'm not very. Like I feel very like beat orientated right now.
Yeah.
Like I want to write to beats. I want to make a beat. I want to and sort of incorporate that.
We're in a digital world right now.
Right,
I mean,
right.
so people are making albums in their bedroom and has been for a long time. So, I mean, if you can get soul out of electronics, then go for it. That's the way that I've always felt.
I mean, there's always soul. You got to put the soul in there.
Absolutely.
You got to
Right.
put the soul in the electronic. It can happen.
There's a bumper sticker that says "Drum machines have no soul." I was
Yeah.
like, I
Then
don't know.
you didn't put it there. Then no one put the
No one
soul
put the-
into
yeah.
the drum machine.
Machines are stupid.
Hey,
You got to
You gotta put it in
You
there.
got to program them.
tell me this: what kind of car was that? Because I think I saw the same car. It was like a Honda Civic, and I ran the motherfucker off the road.
I don't know. It
You
was,
man, I
a,
use her drum machine.
it was a raggedy car. It was a raggedy car. I don't know. Like
You
old,
ran it off
like
the
old
road.
Sentra or
Yeah,
something.
I had to do it.
That's funny.
I sold in my drums, motherfucker. Yeah.
But they need to hear, there's some new shit I'm writing with a guy named Journey
Yes.
and
Yes.
a guy named Josh
Yep.
Lopez.
Yes.
And I think it's pretty incredible. I
Yes.
think we're still sort of stirring the pot
Yeah. Yeah.
and getting all the seafood from the bottom,
yes.
sort of
Yes.
bringing it to the top and trying to figure out what that is.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting though. It's fun. It's fun working with you. It's fun working with Josh. It's interesting how humble everybody is and how everybody comes together and sort of
Yes.
we're so different, but we kind of speak to each other
Yeah.
without talking. It's working itself out.
Can I make a confession since we're
Confess.
talking about like us working?
Nervous.
I was kind of intimidated on being around you guys in the studio because
Really?
I mean y'all real songwriters. All those guitars and everything like that. I came in with my little backpack and my beat machine and my little
everything.
samples and everything, and I'm like, these people got guitars and you're writing stuff and harmonizing. I'm like, damn, I've worked like this, but you guys you worked. Like this is your format. So
We dive in, and you
Yeah.
dove right in there. It didn't seem nervous. You dove right in
well,
there. You picked it up. You were like,
I sweat a lot, but you can't see it.
What did you end up doing for that project, Journey? For that project?
Well, I did the concepting for it.
Okay, gotcha.
So I basically made the tracks and everything, and just the foundation of the concept.
Right.
Yeah. So I sent it to Josh, and Josh is a fucking dope ass musician. He just took it and just brightened it up and put guitars over it, live drums, man. By the time I listened to this stuff, and by the time music came in and gave her rendition, dude, it was like a symphony orchestra just
Man, that's
collided with my sound, and I was like, nah, this ain't even me. This
right,
is like
right.
Transformer GoBot.
came into
type
fruition. That's got to be the greatest feeling as a
Yes.
producer or even a
Yes.
songwriter or any
Yes.
any
Birthing
creative.
a baby,
Yes.
It's
Yeah, the birth of
birthing.
a baby.
It's a birth of something. happening.
I think we all had that kind of epiphany. Like I know Music did because she's always wanted to like write to beats and stuff like that. And that's what we talked about. We're like, yo, I was looking for a beat maker, type DJ, type this, type that. And I'm like, yo, I'm looking for a singer. And Josh was just like, yo, I just work with everyone, and this is something.
And he's just totally in the moment. He doesn't think about it when we leave. He doesn't think about before we get there. He's only in it when we're there.
And that's trust the organic process, right?
Yeah.
Trust the organic process. Like that's what I love. That's
Yeah.
So it's something to be heard.
All right. So where we left off was the stuff that we're into.
Right.
And Josh Lopez, he just came off the De La Soul project. He was a concept band.
Yeah.
Played
on. They worked on that record for years.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope.
Which was epic because I mean everything behind there. Not to get into Josh's story because we got to have you, Josh, on the show.
Yes.
If you're listening right now,
Josh.
if you listen,
yes.
Looking at us, you gotta come through. But he did some epic things and
Josh is amazing.
That is only being infused into like what we're doing. But how did you and Josh meet?
Josh and I met playing for Nika. We were touring with Nika.
Okay.
So that was, and we just gravitated towards each other.
That was a world tour.
It was a world tour. That was
like name some places.
I mean Amsterdam. That's all I can think of right now. I'm not even high. Amsterdam. But Amsterdam, Japan, Norway, London, Spain.
Okay.
You know, everywhere. Australia, everywhere. It's a total world tour. We think we did that like 3 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Josh and I, I don't know, we migrated towards each other.
Yeah, right.
A lot of homies. A lot of people come to her shows.
Yes. Well, so I'm gonna ask you these questions. Where do you think music is now? What do you think about the music that's out now, and where do you think it's going in the future, and where do you want to take it? I know that's 3 questions in one, but just take it from the top. Like music right now, you good with it? You good with music right now? Because you're a songwriter.
I'm all right with it. I'm all right.
All right.
I mean, I feel like there's just so much, and it's so hard to find. I mean, you know, and there's a lot of good
it's
people.
Overwhelming.
It's overwhelming.
It's overwhelming.
It's like how I feel like when Urban Outfitters open, and I can just go to thrift stores and make my shit all cool. When Urban Outfitters open, there's a million of them. They're everywhere. You know what I mean? I feel like music is like, there's so many places to get it, and there's so many people going on, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But it's kind of not in some ways, you know.
Okay.
Where it's going, I don't know. Where is it going? Where do I want to take it? More organic. You know what I mean? Let's go back.
Back to the basics.
Let's go back to the basics.
Okay.
There's just so many things going on. There's so many sounds. And I'm more drawn to production that's very simple these days.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where there's just like a beat and a voice and, you know, something interesting.
Which is what I wanted to ask. It's like, what's your favorite way of creating, writing? What's your favorite way of just
I like to start with my guitar because I think if you start with your guitar and your melody is flowing, I ideally want people to work around that.
Okay.
But as Journey knows, I'm very controlling, and it's never done.
Yes.
It's never fucking done. I have an idea. I could sing every single part that's going on in every single song. I'm like, well, why don't we move this here? You know, but it's still, I like it to be simple, and I like to start from my guitar or a beat.
Yes.
I'm learning to just write
music
to
is
a
a
beat.
professional rewriter. She loves to rewrite.
Because you live with the song and you're just in your car for like a week, and
I'll
I'm
listen
like,
to this
nope.
shit, I'm like, God damn, this is so dope. This is so fucking dope.
And I'm
She's
like, nope.
no, that part. I got to redo that.
The perfectionist,
I have to have people sort of bring me back and just sort of like, because I think it may never be done.
Right. And from the engineer's perspective, because I've worked with a lot of artists where they do take
How
after
do you feel
take
like that? How do you feel?
after take after take, and I'm like, man, that shit sounds dope already. Like I would use this take and this take. Sure, I can piece it together, or maybe not. But at the same time, artists like to get lost in their head. So we need artists do need producers, and producers need artists.
Yes.
It's
Someone
a marriage.
that you can trust.
It's
you
a
know
marriage,
what I mean?
and and trust. That's the key word. That's the key word.
I mean, ideally, you want to get it done and
Yeah.
like just harness that energy of the session and just one time. But sometimes you live with it and you're like, damn, I could do this. And you live with it, and I think you should always live with it for at least a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Marinate.
Marinate
With the music.
and it's always better when I come back.
It is doper. It is doper. But I'm a simplest, and I'm like, yo, first of all, people can't do what you do. All right? You know, you got people that listen to your stuff. It's like, wow, this is amazing. Because they're saying that it's amazing because they're looking from an angle of like, I can never do this. So you're dope already. And then there's an angle of being a fan of the person. They can't do any wrong.
Right,
like if
right.
Biggie Smalls
That's
came
different.
back from the dead and like, yo, did a rap. It's like, people
right.
like lose their mind and die afterwards.
Right. He could be rapping about bingo.
Yeah.
And be like, yo.
Anything.
do
And I'm a
anything
fan.
wrong.
I'm like, yes, Biggie, yes.
Yeah.
So if you got those elements even before you even just attempt on your first or your second try, it's just like, yo, it's really kind of done.
But that's the struggle of being an artist, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's like you kind of can't, you're not very objective about your shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's okay. I mean, every artist, I mean, I don't want to be easy. I don't want to walk out and be like, I'm the shit. This is amazing. Everything. I mean, that would be sort of cheating myself of my journey. No pun intended.
Well, since you bring that guy. Well, I mean, it's a way, just like Lester said, you know, producers need songwriters need engineers. We all need each other. And the way that I've always looked at music was as a fan.
Yeah.
Music.
Right.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan first. So when I hear any of your work, it's just like, wow, she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
And then for you to like,
But that's why I send you shit now. And then I change it. I'm like, what did you think of that? Like, I'll send you anything. I told Rashida today, I was like, no, I already sent it to Journey.
yeah.
So Journey
I already
can
heard
listen.
it. It's good. It's good. It's good because, I mean, right now, today, you don't have great singers. I mean, you have singers, but they don't really have the responsibility that an Aretha Franklin had.
The singers are changing. I was, you know,
They
it's
are.
changing.
Yeah.
It's not like
It's a
like
different type of responsibility.
It's a different type of responsibility. I think it's that part I kind of like. That part I'm kind of into where music is going. That everybody doesn't have to be an Aretha Franklin or a Mariah Carey or like whatever. Like, let's hear what your voice sounds like. I don't want to hear a million fucking runs in between every fucking line of every song. You know, it's not, that doesn't work for me. Like, I like interesting voices. I like weird, interesting voices.
You work with Macy Gray. Like, Like, wow. She was very interesting. When you first heard her voice, what did you think?
I thought it was cool. I really did. It didn't turn
Different.
me off or nothing. It was different, and I liked it.
I love
right
Macy
away.
Gray.
Straight away.
Yeah, I love
Straight
Missy.
away.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
But for a moment, I thought she was a guy. I was like, oh, what's this? I'm like, yeah, this is
I love the raspiness.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's character.
It's herself. It's her.
character.
And she can sing through that. You know what I mean? She sings through it.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a singer,
Yeah.
but it's just different.
That's
like
what I
that.
think is missing from the industry now. That character, that distinct character.
Yeah, like who is who? I can't tell the difference.
Right.
You
can't
knew
fucking
when you
tell the
was
difference
listening to
between anybody.
Marvin
Is it-
Gaye. It's like, ooh.
Is
Right away.
Is it too
Right
much?
away.
Is it too much vocal processing to where it's sounding the same, or like where it's taking away of like the
don't
organic,
even know if
organic
it's-
tone?
I think even before that, I think there's just people that are going, oh, we'll look at the numbers and everybody make a fucking record that sounds like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think it's the people, and then if they're not a
Right.
real artist, they're not sticking to themselves, which might be the beauty of today, that people are like, I don't really have to sign a deal. I can do this. I can do my shit on the side and be myself. So that's interesting. That's better.
But there is the it factor too. Like you said, like
It is.
you can't spend too much time on a song, and you can't spend
That's true. You
spend
gotta
too
stop.
little time.
You gotta
Yeah.
stop.
You just sometimes got to ask like your homies or your friends, like,
Yeah.
what'd you think?
Yes.
If everyone's just feeling it,
It's true.
they're like, that's hot.
you gotta stop. Stop yourself.
That's
away.
Yeah.
Walk
And
away.
that works with the best producers too. The best
100%.
producers are just like, just leave it alone.
Yeah.
We like the raw. I like the raw.
Yeah,
If
the
it works
raw.
out.
Yeah.
I've done a few songs like that where I'm like, all right, it's good.
Right.
Yeah.
The take is good. Let's just go.
Right.
I love that. I love that because it just, I mean, it takes so much to be an artist. It takes so much out of you. It takes so
telling
much
you.
deciding and stuff like that. So once you get there and you're doing it, it's like, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
the hard part was before that. So
Sure. It's like half the battle is just getting
yeah.
True. That's interesting. That's very true.
there.
Yeah.
You worked up to that point.
Yeah.
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 That's
So
half the
now
part-
that you're
half the
here,
battle
you
is
fucking
starting.
Relax.
You know
Just
what I mean?
relax.
You're
Yeah.
in the moment now, so let's just give it all and throw it out. And there's like puke all over the studio.
Yeah. So relax, people. If you're this is
I
your
like to do.
profession, just do
That's
it.
what I like to do.
Right?
Puke all over the studio. That's what I do.
Yeah. Just walk through it and
Walk
slip
through.
off. So music, you being a true songwriter, producer, music maker, what would you tell like a young female artist that wants to get into this music business? Like what advice would you give them?
Just keep writing.
Keep writing.
Just keep writing.
writing.
Be yourself. Be yourself. Don't write like everybody else because that's boring. I think that's what you tell anybody, you know?
Stick to your guns.
Stick to your guns. Practice your craft.
Word.
Stay off of social media. Fucking.
Stay off.
Unless you're listening to this show.
Unless you're listening to Dash Radio right now.
Right. Right.
Well,
as soon as we're done, turn that shit off.
as soon as you're done with
As soon
your
as you're done with Dash,
Go to sleep and turn that shit off.
then work on your shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is our last question. So if you had a superpower, what would it be? Or what is it? Because I know you're dope and you have
I
superpowers.
have superpowers.
I know.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm about to
That's what I
say,
wanted
'cause
to
you
dig
know, like
into.
I'm an
That's a question. That's a
empath.
question. What is your superpower?
Yes.
I feel like I'm
Yeah.
an empath, and I feel like that's a superpower.
Empath.
Yeah, I can feel what's going on, and sort of, I'm a game changer. Sort of.
So what's going
I can
on
go
here?
in. I can go in and
What's
change
going
a
on here? Yeah,
situation.
Yeah, like, what do you see, Leslie?
What's the
going
type of
on?
vibe?
What's going on? I'm just saying, like, if you, like, I'm like the Olivia Pope of like.
He
you know
just
what
won
I
a
mean?
Grammy,
Fix it.
so what do you see him going after that?
He's going far. This one's going far.
Because I'm like attached.
Nominated.
To
You
Nominated.
You should. You should.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's plugged in.
he's plugged in.
We all
Very
are. We all
plugged in.
are. We all are.
He's very humble, so you can always tell like a really humble spirit
Yeah.
is probably doing more.
Word. I
One
appreciate
of the dopest
that. Thank you.
engineers that I know. Yeah.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
for sure.
Hey, but that's a dope superpower though,
Superpower.
because that's like a
I'm
that's
an
a
empath.
yeah.
I'm
That's a-
connected. But if I had to choose one, I would speak like I would speak every language.
ooh,
I would
that's a
speak
good
every
one.
language.
Damn.
That's a great
like,
one.
I have to
Everything.
add that one to
Yeah.
All
my list.
languages.
I never thought about that one. That's good.
That's a big. I try.
Translator.
I try. Yeah, international translator. I mean, you know, I want to say teleport or be invisible or some shit, but like
Yeah.
just realistically, if I could speak like about another few languages, I'd be straight and just communicate with everybody. It's dope.
Deep.
Trip Digital Sound Art Expressions. You heard it here first.
Yes.
See ya.